DC Cinematic Universe had a bit of a rough go for, I don't know, a decade? But in late 2022, WB blew all of that up and hired James Gunn to figure out what to do with this mess. And now that we're at the end of the first year of the new Gunn DCU, some people may be a little confused as to what counts as part of the DCU, and its now fractured three-universe existence. This is, of course, between the DCEU, the DCU, and the DC Elseworlds line, because each one of these is important to the future of DC movies. Let's start with the ended universe because it is very important to the new universe. This is the DCEU, or the DC Extended Universe for long. The DCEU is a 16-movie universe lasting from 2013, starting with Man of Steel and ending in 2023 with Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. This is a series with a majority of the entries being received very poorly, and a style that never found its footing, constantly jumping from dark and gritty to bright and colorful to wannabe Marvel movies, as it shifted between schedules and directors and direction over and over and over again. And if you aren't familiar with all this universe nonsense, you may be wondering why I'm talking about this essentially dead universe. Well, it isn't quite dead, because when James Gunn took the wheel like Jesus to save the DC universe, he took a bit of a different approach to it. He took an approach to this cinematic universe that's actually pretty familiar to us comic fans. Let me introduce you to the world of retcons. Retcons are the way that comic books make their big old whack-ass universes work. The concept of a retcon is that someone makes a story, and then 5 books down the road, someone else takes over that series and makes a new story that says all of that stuff that happened 5 books ago, only half of that actually happened. And then 10 more books down the road, another guy takes over and says that the half of the stuff that did happen didn't actually happen, but the thing that the last guy said didn't, well, that actually did. And that's how comic books work. Are you still with me? No? Me either, but you'll get used to it. This information is very important because this is how James Gunn started the new DCU, with a soft reboot, meaning that some of the things from this previous DCEU still apply to the new DCU, but not everything. Actually, most things do not. James Gunn holds the Bible to this new universe,
which is honestly great. I love everything this guy does. I was just obsessed with Lollipop Chainsaw for like 2 weeks, and to admit that, you either have to be a complete creep or a James Gunn fan. He can do no wrong.
I love James Gunn.